Assalamualaikum and hi. Our group will present about one of the issues currently being hit in Malaysia, which is inflation. First of all, here is name that will be presented. Siti Nur Masyarah binti Mazlan, Siti Nur Syafizah binti Rahman, Nurul Insyirah binti Muhammad Ismail, and lastly Yojia Hui.
So it's my turn now, Siti Sarah. So for the step 2, which is identify problem and problem analysis, our group have decided to choose the inflation issue. So what is the issue? What is inflation? So basically, inflation is a rise in prices, which can be translated as a decline of purchasing power over time. And the rate at which purchasing power drops can be reflected in the average price increase of a basket of selected goods and services over some period of time. The rise in prices, which is often expressed as a percentage, means that a unit of currency effectively buys less than it did in prior periods. So for the root causes, all of us have found several causes, which are demand pull and cost pull, unemployment rate, money supply, exchange rate, and oil price. So next.
So, based on the previous explanations, how the problem happened, for demand pull and cost pull, it increased in consumer demand for goods and services. For unemployment rate, it is implementation of full lockdown nationwide in June 2021. For money supply grows faster than the economic output. For exchange rate, if inflation rate is higher in one country than in the other, this is when inflation affects the exchange rate. For oil prices increases and directly affect the prices of goods made with petroleum products.
Okay, then for step 3, after discussing, we have found out 4 solutions to solve this problem or issue. Firstly, our leader, Siti Nur Masyarah, will present about control of money supply. Secondly, Yojia Hui will present more details about price control. Then Siti Nur Syafizah will present about the bottom line. And the last solution, Nur Insyirah will present about contractionary monetary policy.
So first is the price control. The main idea is the government has the responsible to intertwine between the competition of the business immediately, where government sets on the price rate limits. Then the price are controlled in short time. The consumer can buy the goods with a normal price as before the inflation. Thus, the purchasing power increase and the inflation rate decrease.
So for the bottom line problem solving, inflation refers to the general trend of an increase in prices over a certain period of time. As inflation occurs, purchasing power decreases, meaning that it costs more to buy the same good or service, or that the same amount of money buys fewer goods and services. For investors, it is important that the returns on their investment are at least the same rate as inflation. If they are less, then their investment are losing money even if it shows gains. Similarly, individuals should ensure that their salaries increase every year at least as much as the rate of inflation, otherwise they are technically making less money.
Okay, for the contractionary monetary policy, is more popular method of controlling inflation. The goal of contractionary policy is to reduce the money supply within an economy by increasing interest rate. This helps slow economic growth by making credit more expensive, which reduce consumer and business spending. So, kadar faedah yang lebih tinggi pada sekuriti kerajaan juga memperlahankan pertumbuhan dengan memberi insentif kepada bank dan pelabur untuk membeli pembendaharaan yang menjamin kadar pulangan yang ditetapkan. Bukannya pelaburan ekuiti berisiko yang mendapat manfaat daripada kadar rendah. So we can see some of the tools through which the US Central Bank, the Federal Reserve fight inflation. The federal funds rate is the rate at which bank lend each other money overnight. Kadar dana ini tidak ditetapkan secara langsung oleh Reserve Persekutuan. Sebaliknya, FOMC mengisytiharkan Julai idea untuk kadar dana ini dan kemudian melaraskan dua lagi kadar faedah-faedah ke atas Reserve. dan kadar perjanjian pembelian balik terbalik semalaman untuk menolak kadar antara bank ke dalam julat yang ideal.
Okay, so for the last solving, which is control of money supply. Firstly, the purpose of controlling the money supply is to ensure a nation's economy remains healthy, which is its central bank regulates the amount of money in circulation. So influencing interest rates, printing money, and setting bank reserve requirements are all tools central banks use to control the money supply. So inflation actually can easily happen if the money supply grows faster than the economic output under otherwise normal economic circumstance. So to solve this inflation issue, we should reduce the printing of ringgit money to ensure that there is no increase in the price of goods, the purchasing power of the people, and the supply of goods in the market.
So after the discussion in the team, we all decide that the price control is the best solution to solve the inflation problem. This is because the price control are best used for a specific time period, especially when there are pent-up demand and supply chain shortage. For example, at the end of a way in 2022 at the end of the COVID pandemic. Price is controlled in a short lead time because the price is set by government. Goods and services remain affordable by consumers, thus purchasing power is increasing. Keep inflation under control without resorting to higher interest rates. And that is why the reason we choose price control as the best solution.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all from us. Thank you.